ReefBum is sponsored by Bulk Reef Supply and Ecotech Marine. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So in this video I wanted to give an update on the Peninsula tank, but before I do that, if you want to help support the channel and pick up some SPS frags, you can do so at reefbum.com. And with that, let's get into the video. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done an update on the Peninsula tank, and things are going really well, as you can see. Still getting some great growth and coloration with my SPS in this tank. And yeah, some of the colonies are getting super large, and I've lost a couple of the some of the larger colonies, and it's just really a matter of things crowding out one another and competition, survival of the fittest, that sort of thing. So, but there are a couple that are getting super extra large, like this orange cap. I mean, this orange cap is going pretty much across the entire back panel of this tank. I mean, the tank is like 36 inches wide, and well, it's not going across the entire panel. I would say this thing is probably 2 foot wide, and you can see in terms of where it is positioned on the back panel of this tank. So I love this orange cap. It's so natural looking. I really feel like it is a iconic part of this tank, and it's not an expensive coral, right? I mean, it's an orange cap, and this actually started out as a Worldwide Corals grafted Monty cap, but the orange dominated, the green never took. So I don't know, looks like a run-of-the-mill orange cap right now, but maybe someday the green will re-emerge. But it's super big. You can kind of see it engulfing the Cali Tort right there. That's I don't know, I'm just kind of like letting it go. It's encroaching on a couple of other corals on this side of the tank. So it's huge, you know, it's huge, and I'll probably have to you know, at some point in time start culling it back a little bit. So that's one area that looks awesome, but it's also an area of a concern for me, as is this area up here at the top. This is, to me, my favorite part of the reef, because it's like this giant, I don't know, it looks like a giant table of two acros that have merged together. It's a PC Rainbow and the TSA Bill Murray. It looks to me like a coral atoll, if that's the right way to refer to this, because it's a, I don't know, it's very large, which is crowding out other corals beneath it. You can kind of see on this side, I've got this branching hammer underneath that is barely getting any light, but it is underneath the TSA Bill Murray. And that base, the stem of the TSA Bill Murray, is not that thick. And in fact, if I wanted to, I could probably move, if I put my hand in there right now, I could probably move the TSA Bill Murray. It could tip up and down a little bit. And it's getting close to the side of the glass. So this thing itself is about 2 feet across. It's gigantic. And you know, it worries me in the sense that if I have to really start breaking it apart or chopping it up, whatever you want to say, to, you know, give other corals some room, some light to grow beneath it or next to it, then how will that look? You know, how will that, I really feel like that is the identity of this tank in terms of that top layer of coral. I've got a lot of tabling acros, so these have kind of like tabled off to the top. This is only a 20-inch tall tank, and I really love the fact that it's 20 inches tall, because I like the fact that I didn't have to stack up the rock, you know, when I started this tank that high. I think I've only got 2 layers of rock, and this was rock that I got from KP Aquatics. It was live rock that I got shipped next day, and it arrived in salt water. It wasn't like wet newspaper. They actually shipped it with water in the bag, so it came loaded with different critters like serpent starfish and crabs, some good, some not so good, some pistol shrimp. Even got a couple of mantis shrimp in there, which I was able to flush out. So, but you could see, because I think a couple of things going on in terms of the acros in here tabling out. One is the 20-inch tall tank, which I'm not sure I'm ever going to do a tank in this kind of size that'll be more than 20 inches tall. I just really like that look. But I think the 20 inches, the tall tank, as well as the great amount of flow that I have in this tank, is causing a lot of acros that might not normally table out to table out. So I love that look. But you know, so that's another area of concern. And if I had to start breaking that apart, and maybe the base broke on the TSA Bill Murray or the PC Rainbow, I don't know. I'm imagining that it wouldn't take much for that stuff to kind of like break off and topple over. Then how would that impact the entire look of the reef tank? I don't know. And it's just the fact that the orange cap has gotten so big, taking up a lot of valuable real estate. You know, is it time? Is it time? This reef tank was started about 2.5 years ago. Is it time to kind of do a reboot on this? Start off with just frags again. I've got stuff growing into one another. This is a ATL Strawberry Fields that has merged with a Rocky Mountain Frags Break Out Your Wallet Millie. This ginormous Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous colony has gotten really big, and you know, I put it on the floor of the tank here, and I'm getting some pretty good par levels. You know, at the top of the reef, par levels are about 500 to 550. At the bottom, 300 to 350. So that Jackson's has been doing really well at the bottom, but it's gotten big. It's gotten big. It's crowding out a lot of stuff. This Paletta Pink Tip and this Worldwide Corals Blueberry Fields have kind of merged together, which is kind of cool. They're not really hurting one another. They've seemed to bonded together in harmony, which is very cool. This tabling acro is the North Stars Pink Clathrata, I think is how you pronounce it. So I actually had to kind of move that since it was starting to merge with another coral. I can't remember which coral it was butting up into, but I had to move that. So it's got its own space, but you kind of see it's getting close to the Blueberry Fields. This is a TSA Bill Murray. Love it. Bright red tabling, acro. Starting to get shaded out by the Pink Clathrata. The Oregon Blue Tort right there is melded together with the TSA Bill Murray, so that's cool. But that's another ATL Strawberry Fields. I really love that coral, the ATL Strawberry Fields. This is a Jason Fox Bug Out Stylo, and you can kind of see that's starting to get a little bit encroached upon by the orange cap, and it's touching tips here with the ATL Strawberry Fields. So the ATL Strawberry Fields is sort of like winning that battle right there at the tip. A couple acros that have started really growing out well for me. This is the Unique Corals Original Strawberry Shortcake. I originally had a frag of this one in my other system. I almost lost that coral, saved the frag, planted in this tank, and it's finally getting to the point where it's a nice mini colony. The TCK Pikachu, I think is what that is. I might be mispronouncing that. That's another really radical looking acro that I had put in here as a frag, and it's grown up really nicely. So yeah, everything is doing really well, but it's becoming an issue now of space and what that will mean down the road for the reef. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous Milka stylo colony. It's about, I don't know, I'd say 18 inches across. So again, this is taking up a lot of real estate at the end of the tank. You know, but this side of the tank, again, with what I talked about in terms of the TSA Bill Murray and the PC Rainbow, really, you know, spreading out and shading what's below it. So there's not a lot that I had to move some corals out from underneath those two colonies. So, you know, I'm at a bit of a crossroads here. I certainly don't want to break down a tank that is as gorgeous as this tank. But it's been a fast grower for me. I've always been really into starting tanks with frags and watching them grow out naturally. It could get to the point where I do that. I don't know. Gonna kind of just see what happens in the next month or two with this tank. You know, some might be saying out there, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's true. That's true. I hear you. But if you let corals grow too big and they start choking off circulation to other corals in the tank, then that can be an issue. So I guess that's a good problem to have. So that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Until next time, be safe and be well. Later.